came from Paris Fashion Week. You just landed, and you have a lanyard still on from it, and there's a photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
Oh, snap, y'all. We got Kanye on Tucker Carlson. But this is going crazy. The world is about to melt because, you know what? When I see Kanye speak, I actually do see someone in their freest form. Like, he's so free. He actually says what he thinks, what he means, what he feels. He doesn't sugarcoat it. You know, I've been trying to come out and be more free during the pandemic, all these different things, and you get people will attack you. And watching Kanye is just, man, it's uplifting just to see someone speak what they really feel. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into this. So we're about to watch Kanye's full interview with Tucker Carlson. I haven't seen it yet. React to it live, and then I got the other interview where he explains the White Lives Matter shirt in detail if he doesn't explain it in this. So let's go ahead and get things started. Before we dive into this, don't forget to like, share, and comment on all of the content. If you're really rocking with the channel, hit the subscription button, trying to get to 50K, then 100K, then a milli. Let's go, y'all. But you know who it is, your boy, Black Pegasus, your favorite 40-year-old FUQ boy. Let's go. 40.
40-year-old fuck boys are back in town. 40. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old fuck boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. 40-year-old FUQ Boys podcast. Malt liquor for your ears. 40.
All right, some of y'all who are new here might wonder, be like, yo, what's with the 40-year-old FUQ boys? Like, there's just one of you. Yeah, I have a partner in crime. He's not here. And hasn't been here for a while. But let's not get into that. Let's get into this Kanye titta. So let's go ahead and watch this interview, man. So Tucker Carlson had him on. Yeah, the white supremacist, Tucker Carlson. I'm being sarcastic, you guys. This world is so crazy that anyone who has their own opinion that goes against the narrative becomes a white supremacist, including me. Yeah, the black Mexican, the Mexican black, oh my God, white supremacy. So, hey, there you go. So anyways, let's hear this, man. That was pretty, I don't even know what to say about the first part, because what he said is so profound in this day and age. I mean, to me, I'm like, what he's saying is just like, it's common sense. But anyways, let's get into it, you guys. Let's go there. Everyone's, he's off his meds. I like Kanye, man. What I actually think you're getting to see right here is a free man. Enough of me talking. Let's go.
Photograph on it. What is that?
It's a photograph of a baby's ultrasound.
Why is that? And that you designed that?
Yes.
Why? What does that mean?
It just represents life. I'm pro-life.
Boy, so you wear it on a badge. What kind of response do you get? And good, amen, I agree.
I don't care about people's responses. I care about the fact that there's more black babies being aborted than born in New York City at this point. That 50% of black death in America is abortion. So I really don't care about people's responses. I perform for an audience of one, and that's God.
It's crazy that he said that, because I don't think people realize the numbers and how abortion affects the black community very specifically. Almost seems like we're being targeted. 12% of the population for 50 years, or 13%, whatever. I don't know why that is. Anyways.
I'm starting to see why they want to make you be quiet. When did you start to feel this way? When did you start to realize this?
I really felt like, I think I started to really feel this need to express myself on another level when Trump was running for office and I liked him, and every single person in Hollywood, from my ex-wife to my mother-in-law to my manager at that time to, you know, my so-called friends / handlers around me, told me, like, if I said that I liked Trump, that my career would be over, that my life would be over. They said stuff like people get killed for wearing a hat like that. They threatened my life. They basically said that I would be killed for wearing the hat. I had someone call me last night and said anybody wearing a White Lives Matter shirt is gonna be greenlit, and that means that they're gonna beat them up if they wear it. And I'm like, you know, okay, green light me then. you know, God builds warriors in a different way. I don't know if it's because of me being born in Atlanta and growing up on the south side of Chicago that, you know, he made me for such a time like this. It's like with David, you know, he tended to the sheep, but while he was out there, he had to fight all kinds of animals. So when it was time for...
I don't think Kanye is crazy, y'all. Everyone says he's crazy. I think he's a visionary, and I think he's saying things that people need to hear in a moment where we've lost our sanity and the real reality. I know there can be a more complexity to certain things or nuance, but he's not crazy. I don't think he's crazy.
Goliath to come. He thought because he was a sheep herder that he didn't have the skill set to take down Goliath. And the thing that I have is the position, I have my heart, but the number one thing is we have God on our side. And for the people, even if you don't believe in God, God believes in you.
So you made reference to the White Lives Matter t-shirt, which you brought out at Paris Fashion Week.
Yeah.
Why did you do that, and what did it mean?
You know, I do certain things from a feeling. I just channel the energy. It just feels right. It's using a gut instinct, a connection with God, and just brilliance. You know, like, as if you ask, like, Tanya Harding how she did the triple flip or the triple spin. Yeah. She was in so much practice that when it was time for her to skate in a competitive format, it just happened. Like, it happened outside of practice. It happened in the real format, and that's what's happening. Is God is like preparing us for the real battles. And we are in a battle with the media. Like, the majority of the media has a godless agenda.
Facts.
And the jokes in that work, and this whole, like, oh, yeah, he's crazy, and all these things, they don't work because the media has, you know, they've shown their hand. Watched travesties happen, just even specifically to me, and just watch it and act like it wasn't happening. And they stayed quiet about it.
What have they?
I want to answer the white. Yeah. I feel like someone caught what I was saying, the comparison to Tanya Harding about the White Lives Matter. You know, my dad is an educated ex-Black Panther, and he put a text to me today. He said, "White Lives Matter, ha 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 ha." And I said, I thought the shirt was a funny shirt. I thought the idea of me wearing it was funny. And I said, "Dad, what do you think it was funny?" He said, just a Black man stating the obvious. Yeah. And, you know, my dad doesn't listen to rap music.
That's from a Black Panther. His dad was a Black Panther, or is.
And he's, like, super educated. We opened up a water distribution center in the Dominican Republic together. He's like the original Steve Jobs, but he was getting blocked every which way with all of his ideas. And he didn't have an endless bank account, and he didn't have Instagram. So all these ideas, he had to, like, take them back and compress them. Like, my dad is the most brilliant person that I know. And we actually have a strained relationship because I was taken from him, because my mom was an actress, so she was a liberal. And my dad would see certain things and say, you know, we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And the people got around my mom and pulled her away, much like, Kim is a Christian, but she has people who want her to go to Interview magazine and put her ass out while she's a 40-something-year-old multi-billionaire with 4 black children. And
Yo, crazy, right?
this is how fashion wants to, how they want to present her. So I know you give these questions and I give you like these 3-part answers. Is this a cool format for you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, cool.
And I am following it.
All right.
So you said that your father said when he saw the shirt White Lives Matter, it's great to see a black man stating the obvious. So by which I think you meant that's obviously true.
Yeah, that my favorite response, because I kept on thinking like, people, they're looking for an explanation, and people say, well, as an artist, you don't have to give an explanation, but as a leader, you do.
Yes, I think that's right.
So the answer to why I wrote White Lives Matter on a shirt is because they do. It's the obvious thing.
Yeah. Why do you think that's so, and I assume the implication?
Yo, all the tabloids and all the commercial media said White Lives Matter is a racist phrase. Just think about that for a second. The way they try to alter these ideas, they're saying something that's obvious, right? Like Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter, Red Lives, Yellow Lives Matter, all lives matter. But because it's not Black Lives Matter, it's a racist phrase. And that's where they messed up. That's where they messed up. And that organization, man.
Because of course all lives matter because they're lives, because God created them.
Yeah.
Why do you think that would be considered controversial?
Because the same people that have stripped us of our identity and labeled us as a color have told us what it means to be black and the vernacular that we're supposed to have. My dad grew up as a military brat, and his family moved around, but they were based mostly in Delaware. And at the time, if they weren't the only black family, they were one of the few. And he would be discriminated against because he was black. So by the time he got into college, he would be discriminated against. He went to a black college, he would be discriminated against because they said he talked too white.
Yes.
And then he played the kick drum in the band.
Bruh. This is so crazy because I was an Air Force brat is what they called us. But we were around all different, like we were around a bunch of different races, like black, white, Asian. Like I saw everyone, but I'm tripping out because you guys hear how I speak. Like this is how I talk. And I remember talking to more ghetto females, right? Where it was like either, let's take the race out of it, but it was a ghetto chick, right? And it wasn't what the race you might think it was, but I remember talking to her on the phone because back then you had I'm 42, you guys, so I'm literally on a wired phone talking to her, and she's like, "You talk white," and I was like, "What's white?" But then, that's what you just get labeled if I'm not like, "Yo, what's up? Yeah, man, you know what I mean? La la la." Like if I ain't like leaning into my like what you would call black vernacular, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy to hear this from him.
So when he would go to the club and the music was playing, where would he clap his hands? Where the kick drum is.
Yeah.
So it's the opposite of where everyone else
exactly.
was clapping their hands. And this is the most elegant and tasteful person that I know. And when the school suggested like the herding systems, because what they do is take the black community and they separate us, and they separate the families, and the educated, they push this, need for higher education, and us as blacks, we discriminate against each other and say, well, I got my PhD and you don't have your PhD, so I'm better than you. And so my mom, she had a PhD, and she was influenced to moved to the south side of Chicago and take this job at Chicago State University. And she told my dad, if you come for us, you'll never see him again. Because, the media ridiculed me for getting the house next door to Kim to see my children. And they even said that I was stalking her and her new boyfriend because I bought the house next door to see my children. And that's how I knew that my mom had said that to him. I said, Dad, you know, they moved us to one of the most agreed upon to be one of the most dangerous places in the world. It's almost like they tried to kill me or something. I said, Dad, why'd you never come to get us? And that's when he told me that she was told that. You know, there's so many things that are put in Kim's head. You know, they bring influencers, like no one ever knew where Corey Gamble came from. No one in the fashion world knows where Gabby came from. These people were practically made in a laboratory, in my opinion. And one of the things that they're really good at doing is being nice and being likable. And what they do is, for people that have some form of influence, whether it's an educated Black woman like my mother that became the head of the English department at Chicago State University, or whether it's the most influential white woman on the planet, being my ex-wife, they have people that are around them at all times telling them what to be afraid of. It's like not what to do or say specifically, it's what to be afraid of. And if you have a person that isn't afraid of them, you know, like a Russell Brand or Candace Owens,
right.
It's not that we have to agree with this, but
they're not afraid.
They're not afraid to state what their opinion is.
Yes.
No one is God, and everyone has an opinion.
Yo, crazy. Now, I saw Matt, so like today, the reason I wanted to watch this for the most part too, is I saw some, what you would call Black media companies post on Facebook like, oh my God, Kanye's on Tucker. And I'm like, yo, man, when are we going to get our head out of our asses? Like, yo, when can we just, I don't get it, bro. And maybe I'm just out the loop, but like having your own opinion, having your own free thoughts, like that's what kills me about this, right? People will get mad at me for having my own thoughts and opinion, which I don't trip if you disagree with me, right? But we're in this era where they're told us that Black Lives Matter and Black leadership and all this stuff. But when your opinion or thoughts go against the narrative, it doesn't matter. Your opinion doesn't matter. And they want to ostracize you from society. And that happened to me during the pandemic because I was just like, look, man, this is what I'm going to do. And it ain't what y'all want me to do, but I don't give a what. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this bed. We up in this bed. Anyways, man, the more I watch Kanye, the more I identify with what he's saying. And what's crazy is these people are going to have a rude awakening because, you know, he's waking people up. And we need someone like him because you only get the same nonsense jargon from, it's so crazy that there's so many robots. Like the Matrix is so ill right now. And when you have someone like Kanye, Russell Brand, you know, all these people, the Joe Rogans, you know, coming out, and Tommy Vexed, just speaking their opinions, which are valid. And it's so crazy because we're in America. It's supposed to be all about freedom. And I remember when the rappers when I was young, the gangster rappers, the 2 Live Crew and stuff, they were fighting for freedom of speech in their music to talk about slapping bitches and hoes and selling drugs, and all the politicians, the conservatives and the liberals, just stepping on CDs like, this is this, this is that, which it actually was. In hindsight, I'm like, damn, this is degenerative music, and look at where we're at now. But I digress. Now we're at a place where you can literally say the craziest stuff about killing people in the Black community, doing all this, selling crack, shooting people, drive-bys in music. But I promise you, like, when I made some songs that went against the narrative during the pandemic, got taken down, got banned, got shot. I'm banned from Twitter permanently, you guys. Permanently. The black man, hey, the dude, the Black Voice Matters guy. I'm banned from Twitter, and I'm almost banned from TikTok as we speak. So I look at these things, I'm like, this is wild to me. And, you know, I don't know, man. Kudos to Kanye, yo. I didn't know what that, interview was going to be about. I mean, I really just sat here and watched it. I probably should have done more dialogue, monologue. It's super late. I did see this other interview he did, if y'all want to peep that. I'm just like, this is wild to me, all this stuff going on. And I'm like, it's so it's wild to me that anybody who speaks against the narrative is a crazy person. That's what trips me out. And maybe just because I'm on
Hi,
some
Kanye.
other.
Hey, what's good?
Welcome back to Click.
Hold on, let's find the
I have
White
to tell
Lives
you
Matter part.
that
Are you making this opinion? Is it something that the media has
Let me see.
entire, then they have a group set of people that will go up and attack you?
do you think that today you're stronger than the medias?
Well, God is stronger, and I'm being used by God to make sure that we still remain free.
What is freedom for you?
Freedom is
It's crazy he's talking about freedom because, I mean, he ain't lying, man. What happened to being able to just free to think what you want to think?
is expression. Freedom
And
is
express
family.
yourself.
Freedom is focus. Freedom is clarity. Freedom is organization. Freedom is opinion. And freedom is being able to understand your opinion, understand yourself. Like, why are you making this opinion? Is it something that the media has told you to do, or is it something that you really feel in your heart? Because God's going to put a feeling in your heart, and for the world to be as beautiful as it can be.
Okay, I'm trying to find this part. He really explains, because in the Tucker Carlson one, he started talking about different stuff, but he explains the whole White Lives Matter thing. I thought that was interesting.
At a certain point, it felt like I saw white people wearing shirts.
Hold on, here we go.
Did you want it to express when you do the White Lives Matter t-shirts?
At a certain point, it felt like I saw white people wearing shirts that said Black Lives Matter, like they were doing me such a favor by having a t-shirt that reminded me that my life mattered, like I didn't already know that. So I thought I'd return the favor and let white people know that, hey, your life matters too. It's sort of like when random people will see the documentary, and the documentary was, the third chapter basically was saying, hey, we all love Kanye, but sometimes you got to turn the camera off on him. Meaning, like, don't listen to everything. Yes, we know he's a genius, but feel free to put him on mute whenever he doesn't align with what we're telling you. And so sometimes I'll see people at a fashion show, and they say, we saw this documentary, and they say, are you good? And I'll say, are you good? So it's like Black Lives Matter, White Lives Matter.
And
It's just simple as that.
why do you say Black Lives Matter is a scam?
Well, because it's proven. They have people who end up taking money from it. I mean, this documentation is out there. And just as Black people, we're gonna need more than just a t-shirt and a $6 million home.
Message.
We need what was promised to us. Much like how we never received our 40 acres and a mule, and that puts us in a position where we feel we have to abort our children to the point where there are more Black babies aborted in New York City than born at this point.
That's crazy.
It was similar to at the Gap, they promised stores. At Adidas, they promised stores, and they didn't do.
All right, I'm not going to get into all the fashion stuff because I'm just not a fashionista like that. But I think these interviews are interesting. He also goes on and talks about the whole Trump stuff, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
And I go and we have this moment of this hug. No one knows that I have been offered the deal by Bernard Arnault.
Let me see.
So there was a lot of pain and trauma and unpacking in the idea, because I would go back to Calabasas with no production, or would say, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history.
Oh, here it is.
Was the thing that sent me to the hospital the most, because Kim, my wife, would say, you know, that red hat is small dick energy. Scooter Braun would say, hey, you know, you know, that's gonna mess up your career. Sakaya Sandifer would say, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history. Harvey from TMZ would say, just take that hat off. Kris Jenner would say, hey, just take that hat off. So imagine being in...
His mentor, Jay-Z, dissed him in a song. He said something about the red hat. So everyone came at him for that. And my thing is like, man, I don't even care. Like, dude, I honestly, the more I see Trump, honestly, I'm just keep it real right now, you guys. Let's just keep it real, man. If Trump wasn't pushing the Pfizer, I'll put on the red hat right now. I'll just keep it real, bro. Trump is tight. He's tight to me. But, hey, they're all elitists, so what? You know, they're all seem to be sold out to the global agenda, so I don't really rock with none of them like that. But, you know, during the pandemic, I was starting to rock with Trizomp, for real.
Environment where someone as vocal as me is told by every single person around them that they can't say what they believe in, and that I was a bad person if I believed something different than all the people in Hollywood. And if you go to the footage of where I'm on stage before I go to the hospital, I say, I would have voted on Trump. And it just felt good to say that after all of Hollywood told me that I couldn't say that. Just like people are trying to tell me I can't have a t-shirt that says White Lives Matter. I feel like to have the audacity as someone who has been placed in a box as a black entertainer and a black musician, a black artist, because all these art worlds and design worlds, they'll hire black people all day long as they're part of the political agenda. Adidas, the reason why they hired DC, who is a very BLM kind of black employee, Wharton grad, who actually, if you look at the And One documentary, they had something going, but they talk about they did bad business with the athletes.
All right, man, I'm going to let him do his thing. And my man, I don't know where you can find this because it seems like another channel uploaded this interview, but I guess the company's called Click. You guys already know Tucker Carlson is with Fox. I always like to give my sources, you know, the credit because I'm just kind of reacting to it, watching it, giving it my commentary. But I think Kanye's a deep brother. I think he's misunderstood. I think, you know, they're trying to boo-boo on him because he doesn't fit the narrative. He doesn't follow the narrative. And I think we need more people like him in our society. I think America specifically, we're falling off. We're not really like leaders in culture anymore because we're just following the grift of I just feel like everything comes with balance, and right now everyone's trying to lean so far progressively left, and I think that, you know, man, family matters, y'all. Carl's Winslow, man, family matters, y'all, for real. But anyways, I'm just a simple man. I like beans and rice. But yeah, man, dang, Kanye's ill. It's funny that what trips me out is that through the pandemic, they were able to create so much censorship that the thought leaders that think like Kanye are so limited because you can't see the messaging get out because they shadow ban. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg, people are like, there's no such thing as shadow ban. They always try to tell me this isn't true. Mark Zuckerberg came out and said it on his interview with Rogan. He said that Twitter censored the Hunter Biden laptop story. And the FBI hit up Facebook, and they didn't ban the story, but they made it where it had a limited reach. So you already know they are doing these things, okay? They limit the thought leaders who think like this, who think, hey, you know, maybe abortion isn't what you guys are saying it is. Maybe it's more detrimental to the black community than you would actually like to believe. Here's the stats. You know, maybe we need to get this going on in black culture. Maybe this might help black culture. Maybe it wouldn't. All these things, you know, maybe I should be able to decide what goes into my body to be healthy. Maybe I should have that choice and it not be mandated, you know, especially when I'm young and healthy. You know, all these things got censored So the only people who are rising to the top are the people who just break the algorithm because they're already so big, like Kanye. You know, even people like Tommy Veck. I mean, look at Trump. Like, I get it. You know, people, you know, to me, the J6 stuff, I'm like, bro, y'all are, that's way overinflated. But anyway, some people are like, oh my God, this, you know, I get it. There's two sides to that convo. We gotta have that conversation later. But they took a sitting president off of the internet. And then, you know, now they treat him like a criminal. I'm just like, what does that say? Like, you got to look at how the rest of the world looks at America when you're trying to indict a president. Like, it's just not a good look. But that's how polarizing the whole Trump era was to these people because they lost control. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess you could say he's like a bull in a china shop, you know, because I don't think they lost total control. Like, we still in an effed up place. Like, he still didn't do things that I necessarily agree with, like sign the CARES Act and, you know, all the Project Warp Speed, all this nonsense, you know. But I don't know, man. Anyways, I just want to talk Kanye for a second because that's that hip hop. And I appreciate when a man goes out and risks it all and shows his true valor, his beliefs, and doesn't back down from that. And at the level he's at, he can actually do it and be amplified. You know, they took, you know, man, it's really dope. Because you see this. Watch this, you guys. They keep saying little things. They slip it in. It's a signal. It's a signal. Oh, Kanye's toxic. Oh, he has mental health issues. Oh, he's a bully. Watch for that word, Kanye's a bully. Watch for that. Because when they try to take him off the internet, that's going to be why. Oh, he bullied this person. Someone got hurt. Take him off the internet. And he's going to be added to that list with frickin' David Icke, Alex Jones, Louis Farrakhan, Andrew Tate, you know, all the frontline doctors that went against the narrative, the scientists that went against the narrative. Like, they utilize things to take people off the internet because, dude, Kanye is an influencer beyond influencers. There are people who taking it. See, I don't need his influence. I have my own mind. I'm like, yo, I actually agree with him on this. I don't agree with him on that. But there's a lot of kids that just found out, like, oh, dang, abortion does this to the black community. Wow, I didn't know this many. Yeah, maybe he's on to something. Maybe this, maybe that. Yo, why did Kanye like Trump and these people don't? Blah, blah. Why is he like Candace Owens, but these people say she's the devil? People who can't really always put these things together or have their own thoughts, they get influenced. And they don't want that type of influence, which I think people should be exposed to both sides and be able to make decisions for themselves. But again, these people want to control your thoughts. 1984, it is what it is. You guys are seeing it. Man, it's a breath of fresh air. I know, you know, sometimes people don't want to hear this stuff on my channel, but for me, Kanye's a breath of fresh air, and I'm so proud of him and happy for him that he's able to do it at that level. And God bless him, man. God bless him. I hope he, you know, keeps being successful. He a black billionaire. Let's go, man. Let's freaking go. And all these other cats, you know, they can say what they want and just follow the agenda. And, you know, like, look, if Kanye is getting for saying he wants to see black babies live, but you guys don't want to give scrutiny to the rappers who condone selling drugs, killing our own people, doing all this, you have the problem. Not me, not Kanye. You have the problem. So it is what it is. On that note, I'm your boy Black P. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on all the content. If you're really rocking with the vibe, hit that subscription button. And we on our way, baby. 50K subscribers. You know what it is. 40.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ, boy.